The silent watchers. The galaxy had always laughed at Earth. To them, humans were nothing more than noisy children playing with broken toys. The Galactic Council often spoke about Earth as if it was a small backwater world, too young to matter, too weak to rise. Inside the shining halls of the council chamber, alien voices echoed. Dozens of species had gathered, their glowing robes and metallic uniforms making the place feel like the heart of power. They discussed trade routes, territorial disputes, and matters of war. When the subject of Earth came up, most aliens smirked. They only have fragile ships, said a tall, insect-like commander. His mandibles clicked with amusement. Their lives are short. They are impatient. They will burn themselves out before they ever matter. Others agreed. A scaled diplomat hissed, "Humans fight each other more than their enemies. They will never survive the true dangers of the galaxy." The chamber filled with laughter. To them, Earth was nothing but a minor planet, barely worth a mention. But far away from those shining halls, the humans were silent. Their leaders did not answer insults. They did not shout back at the council. They simply worked, watched, and waited. Beneath the oceans of Earth, under the crust of Mars, and hidden in the dark shadows of distant moons, something vast was being built. Shipyards that no alien had ever seen stretched for miles, hidden by cloaking fields and false signals. Thousands of workers moved like ants, welding steel, laying energy cores, and testing colossal engines. One man stood at the center of it all, Admiral Hale. His face was hard, marked by years of quiet struggle. His eyes carried the weight of secrets. He was a man who had listened to the galaxy's mockery and turned it into fuel. He stood inside a control room deep under Earth's surface. The room was dark except for the glow of screens. Engineers moved quickly around him, whispering updates. On one screen, a massive shadow floated in dry dock, its shape hidden behind layers of steel plating. It was not a single ship. It was something bigger, something the galaxy had never imagined humans could build. Hale spoke quietly into a secure line. His voice was calm, almost too calm for the weight of his words. "Begin Phase 4. No one outside the project must know." Not yet. The message was encrypted, sent through secret relays across the solar system. The signal carried with it a single chilling truth. Humanity was preparing for the day the galaxy would no longer laugh. Meanwhile, in a dusty mining station on the edge of human space, a group of alien scouts sat watching their screens. Their orders were simple: monitor human activity, record their movements, and report back. For months they had seen nothing unusual. Small freighters moved between Earth and Mars. Occasional patrol ships passed by. Nothing threatening, but tonight, one of them leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "Wait," he whispered. "Do you see that?" On the edge of his scanner, a ripple appeared. Space itself seemed to bend as if hiding something massive. But before the reading could be confirmed, it vanished. The screen went blank. The scout swallowed nervously. Could they be hiding something? His commander laughed. "Humans? Hiding what? A fleet of toy ships? Do not waste my time." He closed the file without a second thought. Back on Earth, Hale received another report. Alien spies had been near. They might have seen something. He read the report in silence, then placed it on the table. His voice was steady when he spoke. "Let them laugh," he said. "Let them think we are weak. The more they underestimate us, the stronger our strike will be when the time comes." In the deep void of space, far from Earth's sun, the silence of the dark was broken. Massive engines rumbled awake. One by one, titanic shadows stirred. Each was the size of a city, armed with weapons that had never been tested in open battle. They floated in silence, hidden behind cloaks, waiting for the order. Admiral Hale stood watching them on the screen. His eyes did not blink. His hand rested against the glass. "The Armada," he whispered. For now, it remained unseen. For now, the galaxy laughed. But when the veil lifted, when the Armada revealed itself, the galaxy would remember this silence not as weakness, but as the calm before the storm. Whispers of power. The galaxy had forgotten how to listen. In Mott, their arrogance, most species dismissed human silence as proof of weakness. Yet in the shadows of space, whispers had begun to spread. It started with a single scout. Near the asteroid belt, his vessel had detected an impossible reading, energy spikes so large they could only belong to something enormous. But the reading vanished within seconds, as if swallowed by the void. When he reported it to his superiors, they laughed. Humans cannot hide such technology. Perhaps you saw a solar flare or the scrap of their mining rigs. But the scout could not forget. The way space had bent around the signal, it felt unnatural, deliberate. He recorded the anomaly in his private logs, whispering to himself, "They are hiding something." Far away in a smoky council chamber, debates continued. The galaxy's elders mocked the idea that humans could threaten anyone. A reptilian ambassador slammed his clawed hand against the table. "Enough of these ghost stories. Humans build freighters, not fleets. They are reckless, short-lived, and loud. What could they possibly conceal?" But in a quiet corner of the chamber, one alien did not laugh. Elder Ivor, a historian of the Kalan race, kept his eyes closed, remembering something. Centuries ago, when humans first touched the stars, he had warned the Council, "Do not mistake their speed for carelessness. What they learn, they master. What they lack, they build." No one listened then. No one listened now. Meanwhile, on the far side of Earth's moon, a vast hangar door opened for the first time. Inside, an ocean of steel gleamed under pale lights. Rows of warships, each larger than any Council dreadnought, stood silent, their hulls black as midnight. Engineers in exosuits drifted between them like ghosts, checking circuits, feeding power to hungry engines. A young pilot named Elena Voss floated in her shuttle, staring through the glass as the hangar revealed itself. She had been assigned to test small escort craft. She expected to see a few prototypes, nothing more, her breath caught in her throat. "By the stars," she whispered. Below her, the colossal shape of a ship stretched so far it seemed endless. Its cannons were taller than city towers. Its hull shimmered with hidden plating designed to bend light itself. It was no ordinary battleship. It was something else, something born of desperation and ambition. A voice came through her comms. Admiral Hale himself. "Pilot Voss, what you see today does not exist. You will not speak of it outside this station. Understand?" Elena swallowed hard. Her hands trembled. "Yes, sir. Understood." She cut the comm, but her eyes never left. The ship. Fear and pride mixed in her chest. Humanity had built something impossible, and if she had seen it, then perhaps others had too. Somewhere in deep space, a smuggler carried rumors. He spoke in hushed tones at alien bars, trading whispers for coins. "I saw it with my own eyes," he said. A shadow the size of a continent, moving between the stars. Most laughed at him, calling him a drunk. But a few listeners leaned closer, unease crawling into their thoughts. By the time the story reached the Council again, it had grown larger. Some said humans had built one supership. Others claimed a secret fleet. A few whispered about an armada. The Council dismissed it all. Paranoid tales, traitors seeking attention, nothing more. But deep in their minds, seeds of doubt had been planted. Back on Earth, Admiral Hale stood in silence before a wide holographic display. Around him, commanders from every hidden station joined the secure transmission. Their faces were tense, their voices steady. One commander asked, "Sir," the whispers are spreading, "how long before the Council suspects the truth?" Hale's eyes were cold as stone. "Let them suspect. Let them doubt. It does not matter what they believe until the day they see." He raised his hand, and the hologram shifted. A map of the solar system appeared, glowing red with hidden bases, secret shipyards, and cloaked fleets. "This," Hale said, his voice low but sharp, "is the shadow of power, and when it moves, the galaxy will tremble." In the silence that followed, every commander understood. Humanity was no longer waiting for respect. They were preparing for revelation. And somewhere, out in the endless dark, the Armada stirred again, silent, patient, hungry. The storm began quietly. On the outer rim of human territory, a fleet of alien warships drifted into orbit around a red dwarf star. They belonged to the Drakkari Dominion, one of the most ruthless powers in the galaxy. Their ships were sharp and angular, glowing with crimson energy. Their commander, Lord Vanar, sneered as he studied the holomap. "Earth," he said with disgust, "a planet of children pretending to be warriors. We will crush them in a single strike." His officers bowed. The Dominion did not believe in mercy, and they saw no risk. Humans, in their eyes, were insects to be swatted. The Galactic Council had warned the Dominion not to provoke an unnecessary war, but in truth many secretly wanted to see humans tested. If they broke under fire, the galaxy would be rid of their noisy ambition. If they somehow endured, then perhaps they were worth a second glance. Back on Earth, Admiral Hale received the Dominion's transmission. The message was short and dripping with arrogance. "Submit your worlds, dismantle your fleets, bow to the Dominion or be erased." Around the war table, his officers looked uneasy. A younger captain slammed his fist. "Sir, our fleets are hidden. They believe we are weak. Should we not answer with strength?" But Hale raised his hand, his expression calm. "No, not yet." He turned to the holographic screen where the Dominion fleet's movements glowed, like a spreading fire. "Let them come closer. Let them believe their victory is certain. Their arrogance will be our weapon." Far across the stars, Elena Voss sat in the cockpit of her small escort craft, stationed on the dark side of Titan. She listened to the reports with a pounding heart. "They really think we're defenseless?" she whispered. Her commander's voice replied, steady and sharp. "That is what we wanted them to think." Meanwhile, in the council chamber, debates grew heated. Some ambassadors urged restraint, but others pushed for open observation. A crystalline being with a voice like chimes spoke. "Let the Dominion strike. Humans have hidden too long in shadows. If they are strong, we will see it. If they are weak, the problem ends today." None of them knew the truth. Humanity had been waiting for this exact moment. The first shots came without warning. Dominion cruisers descended on a human outpost orbiting Neptune. Explosions lit the void as fragile defense platforms shattered under the assault. To the galaxy watching from afar, it seemed as if humans were crumbling exactly as predicted. But then, silence fell. The Dominion commander frowned. Why are their reinforcements not arriving? Why is no one answering their distress calls? "Admiral." Hale stood in a control room deep below Earth, watching the live feed of the battle. His officers whispered nervously, some urging immediate action, but Hale's voice cut through the tension like a blade. "Not yet," he said again. His eyes narrowed. "Wait for the perfect moment." Hours passed. The Dominion grew bold, pressing deeper into human territory. They mocked the weakness of Earth, sending taunting messages across the stars. And then, when their fleets reached the edge of Saturn's rings, Admiral Hale finally gave the order. His voice was low, steady, and merciless. "Unveil the Armada." In the shadows of space, the void itself seemed to crack open. Massive hangar doors hidden within asteroids rumbled apart. Oceans of black steel slid free from cloaking fields. One by one, colossal warships awakened, their engines burning like newborn stars. For centuries, the galaxy had believed humans incapable of building such ships. Now hundreds of them drifted into the open, each larger, darker, and more terrifying than anything the Council had ever conceived. On her comms, Elena Voss heard only silence from the Dominion channels. The enemy had stopped mocking. They had stopped laughing. Lord Vanar's voice, once filled with arrogance, now trembled. What is this? How could they have built so many?" Hale's fleet moved forward in perfect silence. Their black hulls reflected nothing, their weapons charged with blinding energy. For a long moment, the galaxy itself seemed to hold its breath. Then Hale's voice echoed across every human channel. For too long they have mocked us. Today, they will learn. Humanity's silence was never weakness. It was preparation. The Armada advanced, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Fire across the stars. The first volley split the darkness. From the Dominion fleet, crimson energy lances shot across the void, streaking toward the black wall of human warships. For a heartbeat, it looked as if the human armada would crumble like any other prey before the Dominion's fury. But then the sky itself roared. Human shields, glowing like blue fire, caught the blasts and bent them aside. Rail cannons the size of mountains answered in unison. Dozens of Dominion cruisers vanished in a storm of molten metal. The shockwave rippled through space like a silent scream. Inside his command ship, Admiral Hale did not flinch. He spoke only 2 words. Advance. Fire. The Armada surged forward. Titans of steel moved as one, their engines burning like furious stars. On the bridge of her escort craft, Elena Voss gripped her controls, her heart hammering. She had never seen such power unleashed. Ships that had once been secret blueprints were now giants tearing through the battlefield. The Dominion, however, was not weak prey. Their dreadnoughts regrouped, unleashing swarms of fighter craft. Thousands of small ships rushed forward like a wave of fireflies, each carrying weapons designed to tear through fleets. For a moment, it seemed as if numbers might overwhelm humanity. Then, the second wave of the Armada revealed itself. From the shadows emerged sleek black cruisers, their hulls smooth and sharp. With perfect precision, they released clouds of autonomous drones. Each drone darted like a hawk, tearing into Dominion fighters. The void became a storm of light, red and blue fire chasing each other through the endless dark. On the Dominion flagship, Lord Vaner's calm was gone. His voice cracked as he shouted to his officers, "Push through, crush them before more arrive. They cannot have built this many." But his words were hollow. His eyes betrayed his fear. Back on the human command deck, an officer called out, "Sir, Dominion dreadnought closing on flank 3. Our escorts can't hold them." Admiral Hale's gaze flicked to the holographic display. A massive red marker pulsed against a smaller cluster of human ships. The Dominion vessel was too strong, its weapons already burning through defenses. Before Hale could answer, another voice cut across the comms. It was Captain Rourke, commander of one of the mid-line destroyers. His voice was steady, but beneath it burned fire. "Admiral, tell my family humanity stood tall." Before anyone could stop him, Rourke's ship broke formation, engines screaming. His vessel plunged straight into the Dominion dreadnought. The collision lit the void like a newborn sun. The dreadnought shattered in half, its weapons going silent, forever. On every human channel, silence followed. Then whispers spread, first disbelief, then awe. One ship had sacrificed itself, and in doing so, it had proven a truth the galaxy had forgotten. Humans did not fight for glory. They fought for survival, and survival made them unstoppable. Admiral Hale lowered his head briefly, then straightened. His voice rang across the fleet. "Remember this. He did not fall. He lit the path. Now follow it." The Armada surged again, fury burning brighter than fear. Dominion ships fell one after another, their formations broken, their commanders screaming. The sky became a graveyard of shattered hulls. Still the Dominion fought on, their pride refusing surrender. But for every human ship they destroyed, 3 more emerged from shadow. Humanity's silence had been a trap, and now it was sprung. Elena Voss's hands shook as she dodged enemy fire. Her eyes widened as she watched the Armada move, not as scattered fleets, but as one living force, each captain fighting with a shared rhythm. She whispered to herself, awe flooding her voice. "They aren't just ships. This is a storm." By the battle's 3rd hour, the Dominion's arrogance was gone. Their commanders no longer spoke of easy victory. Their only words were desperate cries for retreat. And yet, even as they fled, they could not erase the truth burning in their minds. Humanity was not weak. Humanity had never been weak. They had been waiting, building, and preparing. Now the galaxy had seen the fire of Earth, and the stars themselves carried the scars of the Armada's awakening. The legend begins. The battlefield drifted in silence. Broken Dominion ships spun through the void, their flames dying into cold sparks. Human vessels, though scarred, still held their formation, an endless wall of steel and fire. Inside his flagship, Admiral Hale stood tall. Around him, officers stared at the wreckage with wide eyes. None spoke at first. None dared to. Finally, an officer whispered, We won." But Hale did not smile. His voice was steady, calm, heavy with truth. "No, we endured. This is only the beginning." Across the galaxy, the news spread faster than light. Whispers turned into shock, shock into terror. Alien traders told stories in shadowed bars. I saw them rise from nowhere. A fleet so vast it blotted out the stars. Council chambers filled with chaos. Ambassadors shouted over one another, some calling for immediate alliances with Earth, others demanding explanations. The old insectoid commander who once mocked humanity now sat in silence, his mandibles frozen. His eyes showed only fear. A crystalline elder, once proud, muttered softly, "They were never weak. They were waiting." On distant worlds, ordinary, aliens listened to the rumors and felt shivers crawl through their skin. For centuries, humans had been dismissed, ignored, underestimated. But now they had a new name whispered across every system, the Silent Forge. For they had forged their armada in silence and revealed it only in fire. Meanwhile, in the quiet of her cockpit, Elena Voss stared at the wreckage. She had fought in the first battle of the Armada. She had seen death, sacrifice, and glory. Her hands still trembled, but her heart swelled with pride. She whispered to herself, "They will never laugh at us again." At the same time, a Dominion survivor sent a desperate message back to his empire. His voice was broken, trembling, barely a whisper. They were ready. An armada, larger than anything we have ever known. Do not fight them again. Do not. His message cut into static, his ship lost in the void. In the days that followed, the Council released no statement. None dared. But in the archives of 100 alien worlds, historians began to write. One of them, Elder Ivor, recorded the words that would outlive them all. The day humanity revealed their armada was the day the galaxy changed forever. No longer children, no longer prey. They became the storm. And from that storm, legends were born. Back on Earth, Admiral Hale stood in a quiet hangar, far from the noise of celebration. Before him, the massive shadow of a warship loomed, its hull still glowing from battle scars. He placed a hand on the steel, his voice low, meant only for himself. "We never wanted war," he said. "But if they force it upon us, let them remember, our silence is not weakness. It is the promise of thunder." Above him, the armada floated, silent once more. Not defeated, not spent. Waiting. The galaxy, once arrogant, now watched with fear and awe. They no longer underestimated Earth. They no longer mocked humans, because now the legend of the Armada had begun, and legends never die.